Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to WoC Voices, a segment of WoC Theatre. This is co-founder Sonia.
And I'm the other co-founder.
And we're featuring HK Wall and Ahzjai below. We're going to kick it off with a trivia game.
That we
the floor.
Are you woke? Oh, so I'm sorry. We got to tell everybody. The reason this is funny is because we thought we were live a minute ago. We were not. So we've done this before, but we're gonna act like we didn't for you guys.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, Jess, go.
At least Ahzjai's here with us now. Okay, here we go. So, can you hear me okay, Ahzjai?
No.
Okay, anyway, we're going to go anyway.
Unfortunately, that is the one thing that stayed.
2004. Was it Felicia Rashad, Viola Davis, Issa Rae, or Taraji P. Henson?
Felicia Rashad.
And could you tell me what the name, for a bonus point, can you tell me the name of the show she did?
Raisin and Son?
That's it. Question number 2. In October of 2019, Google announced that this woman of color celebrity will be the second celebrity to lend their voice to the Google Assistant technology. Was this Viola Davis? Was this Felicia Rashad? Was this Issa Rae? Or was this Taraji P. Henson?
Issa Rae.
It was Issa Rae.
What was the question?
Oh my God.
No, Ahzjai, just never mind.
You gotta tell me the questions.
I'll let you get this last one, Ahzjai, I promise. This one's not.
I'm like,
question. Who said, I've had backlash playing a serial killer? Anthony Hopkins didn't, but I did. I have to follow my heart at the end of the day. Now, who said this? Was this Issa Rae, Taraji P. Henson, Viola Davis, or Felicia Rashad?
Okay. If I get the quote correctly, who said, I've played a serial killer?
I've had backlash playing a serial killer.
I had backlash playing a serial killer. There we are.
Anthony Hopkins didn't, but I did.
Anthony Hopkins didn't, but I did.
I have to follow my heart at the end of the day.
I have to follow my heart at the end of the day. Who said it? Felicia Rashad, Viola Davis, Issa Rae, or Taraji Henson?
Viola Davis.
That's true. She played a serial killer on an episode of Law and Order.
Brain hour.
We need to have a watch party where we watch that.
She really got backlash for that? Wow.
She did.
Yeah, I want to see it. I bet she was good. It was convincing as hell. I probably would have rooted for her.
I've been searching the internet for it because I do want to see her as a serial killer because she could play a very convincing, like she could do that. She could do anything.
Yeah, it would be so good.
Period. She's the queen of acting, the CEO of acting.
The CEO.
She created it.
All right, y'all. I got a question for you. I'm going to give you guys the floor. What do you want to say to WoCs to encourage and empower them to be present in the performing arts?
Okay, I'll say something. Okay, so whenever I see a woman of color on screen, well, for me on screen because I prefer film, but still like the arts, in a theater, whatever, it gives me this like almost indescribable feeling of joy and just happiness because I feel like a lot of white people take this for granted that they see themselves all the time. They expect to see themselves and it's the default. We don't get to see ourselves, or if we do get to see ourselves, it's in a negative light or portrayal where we're always like, for Black women, it's a sassy Black woman who don't need no man, and it's just all this toxic energy. So when I get to see a Black woman just being a woman and having like multiple complex thoughts and feelings, it's such a beautiful moment for me. So knowing how I feel when I see that is something I want to bring to other women of color, women that look like me, because a lot of people think because of the way they look that they can't do certain things. And I want to tell them, no, Like, I want to say a bad word there, but I just said no. No, you can do anything you want and more because you're Black, not in spite of being Black. And so, thank you.
To tag along with that, I think having women of color present in the arts is so astronomical, meaning that what it does mentally, like Ahzjai, like you were saying, to look on screen or to look in a show and see a woman of color, it really does something to the young creative mind. It, no matter the race, but like really, really specifically, I know I've had so many instances where I'll see a woman of color on stage and I'm like, oh wow,
yeah,
I can do so much more than what I'm being shown. And it's great to see women of color, like my influences that I talked about this week, Phylicia Rashad, Taraji Henson. We've seen all sides of these women, but it's great to see them as these poised, polished ladies as well, to show, you know, in this instance, like African American women, like, you know, we are strong, yes, but we can be just as graceful, and we can be all of that. Just like any woman of color. Any woman of color, we can be soft, we can be gentle, but we can also stand for ourselves and have a voice. And I think that's really important for the times that we're in right now, especially if we want the arts to continue to thrive and flourish.
Period.
Oh, those answers though, like I don't think you missed a beat on what we're trying to stand for as WoC Theatre. I appreciate your candidness and your appreciation for theater and the performing arts. And I have to agree, like, as a Latin American, I'm not gonna lie to you, I get some scripts and I almost don't audition for the things I haven't made in the cast. Because I don't even want to face that. But I totally just, I get it. I know Jess gets it. And thank you for those answers. And now moving on to something a little bit more inside, Jess is going to talk to you guys about self-care kits.
Okay, so last week we talked about self-care kits and how they're meant to engage and calm each of our senses. I shared mine last week, and I would absolutely love it if you guys would share what's in your self-care kit with us.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are so polite. I really appreciate that about you.
So I personally am big on energy and recentering myself. And when I was a kid, I used to just collect rocks. And then as I grew older, I found that there are these crystals and there are these rocks that have a deeper meaning, which, drumroll please, I have brought here today in my little pouch. So, I just have 3 healing stones here. This one is Amazonite. It's just like a blue one. This one helps with physical and emotional centering and enlightenment, and just really gets you in line there if you're having some ailments there. Your regular quartz is just good for all around meditation, protection. I'm big on meditating. Like I said, restarting my energy. And then I have some lavender amethyst. And, this is just love and healing and joy. I'm one of those people. I love love. I just do. And so stuff like this really helps me in a time where, you know, sometimes it can feel a little dark and feel a little lonely at times. And then on top of those 2 things, I have sage, which just cleans out your space. And then just eucalyptus oil. I will pop that on my wrist, on my temple, and it will just reset you and refresh you, and you're just on. You're on, and you just keep going.
Yes, aromatherapy.
So yes, I love how holistic your kit is. Thank you for that. What about you, Ahzjai? What do you do? Let me see what you got.
Okay, for me, self-care is more about I get a lot of ideas in my head. Like, I feel like I'm the kind of person that's always thinking about something. So I have like a whole bunch of stuff I want to do, and like just a lot of stuff is always coming out. So I play instruments for fun too. I'm not going to pull those out. What I am going to pull out is I started painting recently because my brother got me this art kit that I barely ever use, and I started playing with watercolors, and I don't know if I can pull it up right, but I made this. And
that is beautiful.
I just started with eyeballs because like I used to draw a lot as a kid, and eyeballs were always the easiest for me. And then I started doing this thing around them. Let me see if I can scoot in a little bit. I call it like brain soup because it's just something I've always been able to do without really thinking about it. Like I'd always doodle on the inside of my notebooks in school and stuff. And so it's always just come natural to me just to fill the space with squiggles, and it always just ends up coming together. Like I had a friend that tried it once and like failed, and I was like, how? It's literally just your brain on paper. It's just always come easily to me. And then I decided just to paint it in. So I've been working more with paint now recently as self-care, to just relax and get some creativity out there.
I love that. That is amazing. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, I love all that too, especially like just unpacking the layers that woke is more than what we appear. Thank you, ladies, for sharing.
I know. There was a lot underneath the surface there.
Yes, for sure. And I used to collect rocks too. And by the way, HK, I want to say that Auntie Baby is here. And she called you out for used to be collecting rocks. She's like, did you used to collect rocks? I guess you still do. I guess you still do. So here's another question. Are there any woke podcasts, YouTubes, TikToks that keep you guys inspired?
Yes.
Or just entertained. Like, what are you doing to kill some of this boredom and quell some of this anxiety you may be feeling? Like, what are you doing for entertainment? But also, you know, what do you find inspiring as well, of course?
I make a few YouTube videos every now and then, and what I like to do, I like to review things because I like film. I like just analyzing something, why it's good, why it's bad, what it could have done better. And I watch other people to see how they do it, to see what I like and what I can take when I take that to like the editing room, aka my desk in my room. And I just and I'm like, okay. So one of my favorite creatives that I watch on YouTube, her name is Kenny JD. I told myself not to say HD, and I did.
My definition, honey. Okay.
You put too much pressure on yourself.
I really did. Anyways, her name is Kenny JD, and she does this series on her channel called Bad Movies in a Beat, and she'll like beat her face, which I love because I love doing makeup, and she'll talk about a bad movie she watched. And at first, when I started getting into it, I thought it would be something more just her being like, wow, this movie is trash. But what I really love about her and what she brings is she like analyzes it, and she's very eloquent in what she says, and she brings a good message, because a lot of the movies have like toxic relationships, and these movies are like geared to younger audiences. And she's like, let me be your big sister real quick and tell you why this is toxic and this should not be.
Yes.
Like, don't romanticize this. I know it looks cute, but don't romanticize it. She's like, because I was I used to romanticize this, and she said that a lot during like Twilight and stuff like that. And I really just admire that she uses her platform to be funny and educational.
I love that.
And what's her name again? One more time.
Kenny JD.
Kenny
JD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You probably could just find it by typing in Bad Movies and a Beat. Like, it's so fun to watch. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
How about you, HK?
Personally, I have grown to love TikTok. I admit it. I said it.
I don't understand it, but I appreciate that you do.
And that's all right. But no, TikTok has become very popular this quarantine, but recently it has also been shown as an app where people are being blatantly racist and ignorant. And there are a few accounts that I follow that are not backing down and leaving this app. They're claiming their space and they're demanding it. And that's people like, African John is her name on TikTok. African woman who is nothing but drop dead gorgeous, intelligent, speaks all these fluent languages, constantly educating people on women of color struggles and day-to-day lifestyle things that we can go through. She has videos just talking about like personal health and hygiene. Let's check in mentally, and then she'll like check you for real and be like, "Okay, are you being racist?" And I love that. Love the balance. And then there's also Quinlan Blackwell, she's just hilarious. Really hilarious. But she talks about mental health and how you can survive if it does end up getting the best of you. And I think that's great to be honest and open. You know, you can be strong times that you just break, and where do you go from there? And she talks about that. And then I follow one more account, not a woman of color, but a man of color, and his name is Garden Marcus. And he just has his garden, He just garments all day. And he like,
Garden
no,
market?
literally, he's
Okay.
like,
I want to do this.
I take my time with my plants, and we should be patient with people, and we should be kind and gentle. I'm like, oh my God, here's my ring finger if you need it. Literally.
I love a man who cooks personally. I said I love a man who cooks personally.
Yeah.
Just cook me some good food. No, I want all the cheese, all the fish tacos. No, make tortillas for me. I don't want to make tortillas in the kitchen anymore. I'm just saying. Like, I'm being real about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got one more question here. Tell our viewers how they can find you on social media or on stage if you're working on stage soon. And Instagram, just go ahead and plug yourself.
Yeah, your handles, your Twitter, all of that. Your TikTok, whatever you got.
You go first, okay.
Okay, cool. So on Instagram, you can find me at Hannah K Wall. Hannah like HANNAH, Hannah K Wall. And then while you're on Instagram, go ahead and follow WCU-BTE. That is a Black theater ensemble on our campus that myself and two of my other best friends reopened for our campus. I'm the secretary, my best friend Ahzjai Smith is the president, and my other best friend Elena Newell is the vice president. And we're
nice.
Love that.
Ahzjai?
I'm on Instagram as Ahzjai, but it's like can they see how it's spelled in the corner?
Spell it out.
Okay, yeah. AH.ZJAI, and then on TikTok, I'm AHH.ZJAI. It's basically the same thing with an extra H. You probably
and we'll make sure to put all that information in our comments so that people can see that and they can click on you guys and find you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us in our first WoC Voices. It was so nice to have you guys. You were delightful. It was very, very inspiring.
Thank you.
Now, after this,
oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I want to put some respect on their name. I slipped up and said the wrong titles. Ashani is our vice president and Elena is our president. Let me put some respect on my girls' names. There we go.
I appreciate that you do that.
Yeah, I think it's awesome what you guys are doing. Honestly, like Jess and I were talking before, like I think last night, about how what we want is to see more things like WoC Theatre pop up. Represented by our voices, because we speak on ourselves. So anyway,
we're here for you guys. We'll be supporting you and we'll be following you most certainly. And we hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Now, right after this at 7:30, there will be showing QC Concerts. That's Quarantine Concerts, and that's hosted by Zachary Tarleton. So he's also using StreamYard. He's who inspired us to use this style.
Because Sonia was on his show and she did amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to WoC Voices and WoC Theatre. And as usual, embrace yourself and empower others.
Empower others.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.